But without further ado, we're gonna get to Anthony, because Anthony, you got a book.
I do have a book.
You got a Kickstarter.
I do. Yep.
And I'm gonna show the people who are watching this who haven't seen it this right here.
Nice.
The Woman from A.F.R.O. What is that an acronym for?
The All-Female Revolutionary Organization.
And that's all I needed to know, because baby, now I'm on board. That's all I need to know. Oh my God. So tell us what this book is about, man. I wasn't even expecting that, but okay.
Yep. So this book is it's the Black female James Bond. This is actually issue 2. We successfully did the first Kickstarter for issue number 1 last year, so this is the follow-up issue. The whole issue is going to be a 7-part series, but like I say, A.F.R.O stands for the All-Female Revolutionary Organization. Our main character is Stella Rae Simone, A.F.R.O's #1 secret operative.
And this woman here, this young woman here.
Yeah, that woman right there.
She's giving me all Miss. She's giving me Misty and Jackie, and she's giving me all of that.
It's supposed to be all of that. Actually, it's funny. It's all of that, and a big inspiration for the character is actually my aunt Carla Rae, which is how she got her second. But Stella Rae Simone, the last name is for Nina. Huge Nina Simone fan.
Look at that.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm trying to throw a bunch in there. So yeah, it's a global espionage spy thriller.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've already given the inspiration for your character, and obviously the inspirations for other characters.
Mm-hmm.
What can we expect to see in this series?
So, I love spy movies, and kind of like the idea, like when I first started playing around with the idea, I just really love the idea of like a globe-trotting spy thriller, but from places we don't get to see, right? So the whole thing, it starts in Chicago. The whole thing starts with like Stella's basically on the protection detail for the scientist Keith Washington, who's invented this thing that's basically going to stop global warming. And in the first issue, he gets kidnapped by a mercenary named Franklin Shepard, and it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. And issue 2 picks up kind of right where it ends. But it's a globe-trotting adventure. I don't want to give too much of the story away because it's meant to be a mystery, but it touches on places that, like, it starts in Chicago, it goes to Cairo, it goes to Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, it goes to the Rwenzori Mountains in Uganda. So it's like, I wanted it to go like all those places where you see like Europe, or you see all these lavish, beautiful locations. I wanted it to be that, but from a total Black side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's naming spots that no one would really think of,
Right.
And now that you're doing it from the Black perspective, let alone the Black female perspective, and you're coming up with all these locations, I'm like, this is cool, because this is something we've talked about numerous occasions on this platform, like just seeing ourselves in those type of fields: sci-fi, fantasy, spy thrillers, action adventures, these type of things. Is this something you would love to see as a live action?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of, if I had to bet, I'd say that like maybe animation might happen first. But either one would be totally amenable to me. I don't really care which.
When you say animation, now I think of a certain show we'll talk about a little bit later. But I can see like if it's a spy thriller, we're talking there's some action scenes, like
absolutely,
like Mission Impossible type
heavy ones. And yeah, it starts, the first episode has a little, and the second one is a continuation. But no, I got some cool ones in there for sure.
So you have an interesting background. You're on the West Coast, correct?
And
you work on television and movie sets.
Yeah,
as lighting director.
Sometimes I'm a lighting director, but most of the time I'm a set lighting technician. I'm in the union out here, which is local 728. So yeah, I've been working on movie sets for about 20 years now. Maybe a little longer.
In the mix. He's already in the mix of things. Does it bother you when you see certain shows and you can say the lighting or something's just off?
So when I first started doing it, I noticed like all sorts, like that was all I could look at. You get to a point where you get numb to it, so I don't care anymore. Now, I kind of just I'm able to kind of tune out. It probably happened about 10 or 15 years. It was like, you know what? I don't care about how I might have done things. You know what I'm saying? I can actually just sit back and watch for the story. So,
Okay.
Birthing the woman from A.F.R.O, because every time I see this image, I mentioned Misty Knight. I mentioned Pam Grier. I think of Sister Girl from
Undercover Brother.
The Undercover Brother, right?
yeah.
I think of all these staples of Black women just kicking ass, just and not even caring. And you said it was inspiration from your aunt. What did she say when you put that in context for?
Okay, so well, I'll give you the whole story, right? And the way that the whole thing started was, in addition to doing the comic book thing, is kind of like I'm very new to that. I started a clothing company called Fro Life, which kind of started as a joke and then gained a little momentum. And so I was actually figuring out like just different shirts because I'm really good with puns, so I was kind of like just coming up with all these different ideas, and I came up with this idea to do like a line of almost like blaxploitation movie poster shirts, but just it had like puns on fro or fro puns. So like one I did that I have looked like was the Perminator, but the man from Uncle.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it, every last bit of it.
I actually got a poster. We're gonna do some shirts like that pretty soon because I got the artwork for that done. But so I came up with the man from A.F.R.O, just like the man from Uncle, and I actually got some artwork done for the man from A.F.R.O, and I kept trying to figure out what A.F.R.O would stand for, and the only thing I could think of was the All-Female Revolutionary Organization. Now I want to say that I made the pivot to the woman from A.F.R.O quickly. I'd like to say that I did not. It took me like
the important thing is that you did.
Yeah,
You tried.
was,
Yeah, you gave it a shot.
Rack my brain about like why would the man from A.F.R.O be working with the all-female, and I couldn't think of anything else. And then finally, an embarrassing amount of time later, I was like, it should probably just be the woman from A.F.R.O. I started thinking about what that character would be, and we all got that one aunt who we know and love and is the life of the party, and that's my Aunt Carla. So I kind of just based some attitude and like around that. And no, she loved it when I told her, because it was like the middle name Ray was the homage to her. So I was like, oh, Carla Ray, it'll be Stella Ray. But yeah, no, she totally digs it.
So it's funny when you mentioned like if they had a guy, and I said, well, if there was a guy, I mean, why not?
That part.
Right.
Let's go.
Sure.
Who's going to tell them no? That's just what I'm saying.
Who would tell
I like to be there when
For
they do.
sure.
I don't think that'll end well. I like to be there when they do.
So what did that mean when you seen Mr. Jackson himself wearing one of your shirts?
Oh, that was awesome. So, fortunately, I'm lucky enough to kind of be behind the scenes on a lot of Hollywood things, and so it's like it's funny because like I go around a lot of people, and people kind of know me because I give out like a bunch of stickers and like shirts. So people will sometimes know me from that before they ever meet me. So I remember I got a partner. His name's Ryan, and he had given a shirt to some production assistant, and apparently she was in Atlanta just wearing a Frozilla shirt on a Samuel Jackson movie. And I guess he just stopped her and said, "Where'd you get that?" She called my man Ryan. I was literally in the car with him when he got the call, and he was like, "Sam Jackson wants a shirt. Can we send one down to Atlanta?" Say less. So we, went back to the shop, sent him one. And then, yeah, a couple weeks later, he popped out net. That was amazing.
Nice.
One of the stop in your tracks moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't remember where we were going, but I know we hit an immediate U-turn.
Turn now.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson is on the phone. You do what's need to be done.
Man wants one of your shirts. Yeah, we can wait to eat.
No. We
We can wait to do
post-haste.
whatever.
I don't need to go to urgent care that bad. Just turn it around.
Tell my wife to hold the baby just a little bit longer. Sam Jackson's on the phone. So what's the next? So you can say you said you can see this transferred over to animation. You can see it transferred over to live action. we've talked about the birth of the woman from A.F.R.O and of Stella, and just, is her look inspired by your aunt as well, or is their look inspired by all those people I mentioned earlier?
Coincidentally, like a little bit of my aunt is in there, but I would say it was more. I remember when I talked to my artist is in Brazil. His name is Ednardo Alves. But I gave him some Pam Grier photos. Some Foxy Brown, Coffee. There was someone else, but it was more in that vein.
I mean, it's never a bad look. I mean,
yeah, and I mean that's the homage. There's a lot of other stuff in there, but that is the homage is to Foxy Brown.
For those that's just joining in, this is that look of that cover there. It screams badass.
I want to cosplay as that so bad.
What do you mean?
Oh God,
what's that? You're going to cosplay as that? Got it. Okay.
Listen,
that part.
and the 70s show. I mean, not 70s show. 70s day once per week. That's it.
All you got to do is call up Sir Julius. He'll do the 3D print for all the padding and
that
stuff.
part.
Be easy.
I'll send you whatever photos you need. I got.
So you have the Kickstarter is live now, correct?
The Kickstarter is live. You can, I think the link is in my Instagram bio. And also if you go to my website, frolife.com, FROLIFE.com, you can find it there too.
Right. This is a dope look, man. And you said this is your first time in comics.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is my first comic. Like I said, it's issue 2. I kind of wrote the whole script over the pandemic, which, I finally had the time to sit down. I kind of outlined it before, and I kind of had that for maybe even a year. But then once the pandemic hit and we all finally had some time to sit down, I kind of wrote the whole thing out as like a film script and then transitioned it over into a comic book script.
Okay. Without giving too much away, because you mentioned different locations that this is going to take place. So, but without giving too much away, because we want people to jump on this Kickstarter. We want them to go because you're not the first one who's come on and said, this is my first time coming out in the comic book world and had a successful Kickstarter. I'm not saying it's us, but I'm saying it's us.
We're batting 1,000 at the moment.
Right.
What are we at? 6 or something? More 6 or 7?
Yeah. They seem to clear. So y'all go out there and you show some love to that. But what else can you expect to see in this series without giving too much away?
I mean, the classic spy tropes, obviously she's got a ton of, Afro specific gadgets. She's got like her own Q who kind of makes her all that, makes her a bunch of stuff. Let's see. There's a shootout with some North Koreans at an airfield in Cairo. It all ends in a secret mountain base. There may or may not be, I guess her mentor, there may or may not be a kind of, mentor villain relationship that kind of pops up later. Plenty of action. There's, I guess there's an Afro guy, like the Bond girls. There's a, Afro guy.
Okay.
Okay.
There's what love interest, I guess you can say to you.
Yeah. Sleek locations, cool dialogue, a bunch of action. Just badass spy stuff.
Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna ask one, and then I'm gonna let the crew ask a question. If this was a live action, or here's the thing: if you had to do a live action, who would you want to play it? Or if it was an animation, who would you want to voice it?
The second one I hadn't thought about. Somebody asked me that first one, and I almost was like, I think Zazie Beetz, the woman who played Domino in Deadpool.
All right. It's acceptable.
Yep.
That'll work.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, I gotta think about who I would get to voice it.
And see, now that and when you say that, I think of Domino. I'm like, she was halfway there.
Yep. Very much.
You know what though? It might be Zoe Saldana, and not even for like the Marvel stuff, but just from Lioness.
Okay.
Don't fall off the bed. She about to fall off the bed.
The show is amazing, and nobody will fucking say I'll watch it. Anyway, sorry.
It's
No,
it's literally on my watch list. It's a lot on my watch
Oh
list.
my
So-
God.
It's amazing. There were 2 or 3 real problems that I have with that show, and they're like minor things. It's not like the show is amazing, but there are 2 or
Yes.
3 things where I'm just kind of like, okay, that's a little dumb. But other than that, yeah, I love it.
Christy
A
said,
little-
yeah,
a
it's
little-
a little action
when
on
a
the
little
side, too.
couple writing things I would change, maybe a character, but outside
Yeah.
of that, everybody good.
Yeah, no, it's a good one.
Nice.
Well, go ahead, Lady Mandalore. What you got a question?
Sort of, kind of, it's a question.
She has 5 questions in her head right now. She's trying to figure out which one to
I
ask.
mean, that's
I have
right.
a singular question with too many words. So I'm thinking. So I don't know what I'm getting in the comic yet, but what I'm thinking of is something that's really descriptive. As far as the scenery goes, like I'm thinking of it in written terms. I kind of picture the detail of the comic to be almost exact about the locations. Did you use any references, or are you trying to be as accurate as possible in the places that they go to?
Oh
In
yeah,
your images?
100%. Yeah, like
Okay.
Google Images, like certain stuff like this will, if we're in a city,
I
this
hug
will
you.
happen at this building. Yeah, completely, 100%.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, that was easy.
She's holding off on the other 4.
Oh, our grill to horror. What you got?
Hello. Not actually. I just this
Uh-oh.
of
No,
the female
scroll.
version of Ethan Hawke.
Okay,
Like,
she went in and
I love. Is it coming through? Oh
Yeah,
man,
you're
it's
not.
going on again.
Oh, it's delayed, but is she a
Oh,
little
okay.
delayed? But that's it.
She said she got to like she likes it
Okay.
as a female version of Ethan Hawke, so I caught it.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I've never seen that for me. You know what I mean? And so like again, I'm big on representation, and just being able to see that is just amazing to me. So I'm looking
awesome.
forward to definitely reading this.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and if you go to my website, frolife.com, you can buy issue number 1 in the physical form, but it is free online. Like you can download the PDF for free on my website.
Nah, we supporting. We
I think
supporting.
supporting.
Support, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We
We supporting.
go support.
Can you put that in the chat or something? Because I'm gonna look that up right now.
You got it. Who got it? Spartan got it or Tafari? Tafari normally got those links together.
Yeah, but Safari beat me to it. Safari usually beats me too on the keyboard, so I don't even try no more.
But I mean, like
He
I said,
smiles and talks and it's just like tick, 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 done. Wait, whoa, hold on, you were talking.
you can buy it. And
If y'all put it in the private chat, I have to like switch my accounts to the Blerd side thing, or it blocks it when I put it in the main chat. That's why I'm always over here like digging.
You said frorevolution.com?
Oh no, it's just
Frolife.
F-R-O-L-I-F-E.com. Yeah, the Instagram is at the Refrolution. There's a whole vocabulary. It's
I know
fairly
I'm not gonna
extensive.
hold you. That is pretty damn slick. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the main chat for everybody to see it, so you can go show you. And Spartan got it already. There it is. Yeah. There it is. Don't be cheap. Go show your love over there to the frolife.com and Refrolution.
The Refrolution.
The Refrolution on IG. Don't do it free.
Right.
Don't be cheap.
Exactly.
Because we do want to see this in another medium as well, because that's something we don't get to see a lot of is our brothers and sisters being exhibited in different factions, and not play side characters or whatever the case may be. So Spartan, you got something?
Oh, he kind of answered about 6 of my 12 questions.
Give me the other half.
Because you saw my comic ones. I'm like, dang, he took okay. We covered that. Kira covered 12. Well, let's talk about your movie Set Life. Was there one particular show or movie that kind of sticks out to you that was a part of the gig that you loved, or just was just unforgettable to you?
Oh yeah. So I don't get too starstruck. There have been 3 times that I've been starstruck where I've been like, okay, this is really cool. The first time was Hulk Hogan. The movie they got in the Union on, Hulk Hogan was on. It was kind of when he was doing the Hogan's thing.
Okay.
And he was, that was a little disappointing, to be honest. I don't know, just the whole vibe. I kind of wasn't with it. But I got to do an interview with Quincy Jones, where we went to Quincy Jones's house, and I was like me and like 4 other people in the room with Quincy Jones, which was amazing.
Nice.
And then I got to work with Prince for about a month.
God, dang that!
He puts
Sorry,
away.
gang. 1600. I guess we tapped out.
All right.
Kira, reattach.
No, that's my uncle in my head though.
He got to work with Prince. That's a hang your hat moment. Like,
yep. Yeah, it was like every weekend for like a month he was making this little small movie. I got to be in the movie. And then the whole time we were there, he had his band, so we got to see him like rehearsing for his Vegas set. But yeah, it was
nice.
That was
wow.
That's incredible.
Nothing's come close.
You are the second person that I've spoken to since I've been doing this show who has been in Prince's house.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I missed the boat.
Okay.
So
a couple of years too late.
Goddamn.
There was a story around that time. There's like the whole entire story is long itself, but like every time I would go there, like I would find a new piece of the house, like it was huge, and there was always like he had a ballroom. There was like the Prince symbol inlaid in the floor. There was an elevator in the house, like that was lined with purple velvet that had like the gold Prince symbol inlaid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking it's amazing. It was about the end of the week. They were like moving out, and we kind of been there. It was like a small crew. We're kind of like, hey, what's going on? Like, oh, yeah, this is it. Like, we're going. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to give the house back to the owner. Like, the owner. It's like he had customed out this house, like I say, like just crazy. And like, oh, it was Carlos Boozer's house.
What? Another Prince mystery. I swear to God. He's like, well, where does he live?
This man become
no, he
lives. This needs to be on Chappelle.
He is everywhere and nowhere all at once.
Exactly. This needs to be on Dave Chappelle.
At this point, Prince is the Batman of the music industry. He's like, he's there, but you will never figure out where his operations are.
No,
like
that's not inaccurate.
Like that's all we did. Like within the past this year and last year alone, I've heard more behind the scenes Prince stories, and I'm like, you mean Charlie Murphy wasn't the only one? Like, there's other stories.
No, I know a couple people with them too that it's like, and they're all kind of like what you would expect them to be.
So did they really all have like a glowing aura around them when they walk in the room?
Okay, so facts, right? I swear to you, I'm not lying. When I got there, right, and I didn't even know I was supposed to be staying. I thought it was just dropping off some equipment. And then I ended up being like the dolly grip, so basically it's like, hey, come out here. It's like a camera dolly. It's this big, heavy piece of equipment, lay out some tracks. So we're just chilling by Prince's pool, right? And I'm like, I am trying not to flip out, but like my household was a Prince household more than it was a Michael household. You know what I'm saying? I love both. So the DP is like, hey, all right, we got it all set. We just gonna sit here and wait for Prince. I'm like, okay, cool. Everything's cool. I'm not tripping out. It's cool. We were at the pool. The house was like further up the hill, right? There was some stairs that kind of came down the hill. I swear to you, I was not looking at the top of them steps. There was a sound effect. Because I know that like literally my head just whipped up and I see Prince not even walking down the steps, just at the top of the steps in a sleeveless beige karate suit flanked by his 2 18-year-old dancers. And then like he took a moment before and then he started just diddy bopping down the steps. Whatever you heard is
wow.
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 He did the smooth brother sidestep down the stairs. Is what that's what he did.
A great man once said, "Get the French toast out of here."
I am done.
That right there have been like, I just saw this man just smooth coming down some steps as if a damn song was playing.
I swear I heard music in my head.
I bet you was playing in your head.
To this day, there was a sound effect.
Wow.
Prince is probably the only cat I know who won a Grammy And then when he went to do the interview, he did a set instead. They would ask me a question. He was like, "Nah, we played a couple songs." I'm like, "Are you going to tell him no?"
Who's gonna tell him no? Who's gonna tell him no? Nobody.
And you better record. You better record the set because I'm pretty sure your publicist is gonna be pissed if you don't.
Tafari, are you right? The only performer in the Super Bowl where God gave his appreciation.
Yeah, he did.
Bless up.
I mean, he ain't lying. He's not lying. Super Bowl performance, and it starts raining as he's playing Purple Rain. I didn't make these things up. I was like, wait, isn't that gonna mess up? Well, I guess it's just gonna be the equipment's gonna be fine. Okay, and it doesn't look like Prince is wet at all. Okay,
He's got his own aura. You know, going to the Super Bowl, it's like Prince is doing the halftime show. Bring your umbrella. What? Bring your umbrella. Trust me on this.
I don't think the guitar tech was complaining. He's like, look, let that man play. I will replace every string on that track. Let that man play.
Yep.
Damn. Wow. How do you have that? You don't. It's Prince.
I mean,
you can't touch Prince.
He did it. He played. This is how you leave the room, people. Speechless and wanting more. So working in there for a month.
Right. This we keep finding these people with these Prince stories. I'm gonna start. It's gonna become a life of its own at some point.
It is. I really do hope that someone's get together and say, hey, there's a book out here, or there's a documentary. These are these stories, uncharted, and we just like, and what happened after that? I don't know. He just
moved
on to the next
amazing
story.
Documentary.
Yeah,
just the random Prince stories that people have. That would be amazing.
I actually heard one maybe a couple of years ago where when Michael passed away, and I can't remember who was telling the story, but he said Prince called him over to the house, and they sat out on the balcony for hours until the sun came up, and that's all he talked about was all his Michael stories. And I'm like, you're sitting there talking for hours on end about how great of an artist Michael Jackson is. Like, all that talk about Prince versus Michael is nothing. It means nothing.
I mean, that's the truth, though. I mean, we got Navy. You got any questions, man?
Yeah.
You look deep in thought over there.
Yes, of course I do. How dare you? And
I thought he was
sitting here all quiet and whatnot.
I thought he was trying to convert, like trying to figure out, like, that is a lot of Prince information to kind of.
Navy had a Rolodex of questions. He just needs to go ahead and ask him.
Nah, I'm not like Kara. See, my database isn't large. First of all, the comic is amazing. I love how it takes a throwback to the 70s, the exploitation, especially the movies, because I grew up when those, Cleopatra Jones, Superfly, Mother Jugs and Speed, all of them. Is there a artist or writer in the comic world that you would love to work with on a future project?
I don't know. I mean, I've been busy focusing on my own stuff. I kind of now have just started to. I did my first Comic-Con last year, which was Long Beach Comic-Con, and it's amazing because I just feel like they're just all these really cool indie Black comics, that like I kind of had no idea were out there.
BlerdCon, yeah, we need to get into BlerdCon. Yes,
yeah, and that's my goal. Like this coming up year is to start trying to hit as many of those as possible. I met some really cool people. There was one I really liked.
Nice.
I think Royal Oak Comics, but they had this really cool one called Who's Bad. The dude's name was Jamal Hurley. Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer.
Yes, that's family right there.
Yeah, that's David. Yeah.
I haven't read the comic book yet, but I need to order one. I've seen, what is the name of it? It's not the protagonist, the antagonist, I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've seen that. I haven't read it, but that I was like, yo, that's really, really cool. So I mean, I think those might be the three that I can think of off top.
Yeah. David Crownson, who does Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, he's good people. He's been on the show. He had his stuff show up in Times Square, and I'm like, man, that's
that's one I've been following. Where it's like, that's just, I mean, the concept, the art, the execution, like that's all just amazing. So
that's good stuff. And the antagonist, good stuff. Like, it's what we do here. Is like we just highlight all the Black indie artists and comic writers because, like you said, we don't get to see them enough, or at all for that matter.
Right. And there's just a ton. Like there was some stuff I was aware of online, but then just even going to the Comic-Con, like Long Beach Comic-Con, which isn't I guess like quote unquote a Black Comic-Con, and seeing some of the creators there, I was like, there's some really cool stuff out there.
There's a pool. There's a I don't even want to say pool. There is a sea of Black indie creatives who are, if the right exposure was there, would be putting the two big houses to shame. Honestly, just because the different styles of storytelling, there's different styles of art. One thing we always talk about is like, hair texture and hair, we're just now getting stormed. Just now getting stormed with Kinky Curly. And it's just like, it took you how long? So
for all their artist work, they could not figure out Black people hair for the longest goddamn time.
I mean, but was there really that much of a impetus on them too? I just feel like there wasn't ever really pressure, and if if you kind of don't deal with it day to day, I mean, we all know what it's like to have.
I was just saying that if you don't have it, you won't know how to deal with it, let alone illustrate it or even envision it.
Fair.
But also randomly shout out to Virtuous Con because they had a whole panel about that this weekend, teaching people how to draw Black hair. It's needed. Clearly needed.
Thank you for putting that quote up there, Verb. I appreciate it. I will stand on it. As the children say, standing on business. You won't hear me. Yes, I still purchase those things, but at the same time, I'm going to say something.
Right.
So, but man, Anthony, this is. I'm looking at some of the panels like you have, and I'm like, the art itself is dope. And
my artist in Brazil, like I said, Ednardo Alves, is amazing. I actually met him through the guy that does my colors, Jermail Lessie, who's got his own comic book, Absolver, out of Concrete Comics. Yeah, so he's doing my color, and then he introduced me online to the artist who's down in Brazil. But yeah, he's amazing.
See, this is what we need. We need good stuff like this. I'm gonna put the Kickstarter up here too.
A web of artists, if you will. Not Madam Web, but a web of artists.
One of the cool things too is like if you go to the Kickstarter, there is what I plan to do over the life of the project is, I think so far we've touched like 4 continents. It's like North America, South America. The guy that did the cover for issue 2, the A cover, is Riley Coyote, who's out of Nigeria, and then my B cover guy is based out of Manila. So the actual collaboration has been almost more international than the story will be, which has been like phenomenal.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
I'm loving this. I'm really loving this.
Ain't got no business being this late. But
yes, it does.
that means it's a good thing. That's a good thing.
How darest thou?
I dare. I want to show this piece that's on the Kickstarter just to give people an idea what they are getting, what they're missing out on if you don't support. Here we go.
Nice.
Hey, what's up? My name is Anthony Jefferson, writer and creator of The Woman from Afro and founder of A.F.R.O Life Apparel and Comics. Last year, we successfully launched issue number 1 of our very first comic book, The Woman from Afro on Kickstarter, and now we are back with issue number 2. If you supported us on the first Kickstarter, thank you. Your support was greatly appreciated, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. The Woman from Afro is a 7-part global espionage spy thriller starring Stella Rae Simone as our titular character, The Woman from Afro. It takes inspiration from classic blaxploitation and spy movies. Please go ahead and check out the Kickstarter, and if you like what you see, pick up a copy or share the campaign with someone. We got a ton of cool rewards for you guys, including this t-shirt and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm getting
I need a
Tiana
drinking
Paris vibes here, y'all. I'm getting Tiana
Yes.
Paris.
Thank you.
Yes. Low key, I think Issa could do it too.
Yeah.
Low key, I think they both can be in it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not turning nobody down.
This is dope, man. I like the way this looks, and you're right, Navy. It was giving me Tiana Paris vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry, I saw the Marvels for the 3rd time yesterday. So
it's kind of hard not to watch it. It really is. It's
Pretty
like
much.
what is their hate? Not a damn thing.
no.
Pretty solid. It's pretty
I hope
solid.
it gets animated because that's like growing up the type of representation I wanted. If anybody watched Totally Spies,
Yeah.
Get out of my
Yeah.
head.
the only one we had, I think, was Alex, who was Afro-Latina, but she had her hair like the rest of the Valley girls, so she was skin-wise, she was the one of us. But or even when they had like Winx Club, when the girl fried her hair into an afro and then was crying because it wasn't straight like everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
What the Kickstarter? This is needed.
But yeah, go over to the Kickstarter. Go to all the websites. Go to all the here at frolife.com. Go to the Kickstarter. That's also in the chat. Go to the IG page. Show your support to Anthony because this is a project that is needed
Yes.
heavenly to be seen and most likely transferred over to another medium.
Yep.
Miss
Oh,
Ray,
hey, can I-
Paris, we are looking for you.
Can I show too? I got some of the rewards here. I make all my stuff in house, but this is one of the t-shirts or the sweatshirt rather.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Kind of that.
Please tell me you have that in a hoodie, sir.
I could do a hoodie. If you,
I got to get some of that.
Yeah. This is the
I'm getting
the
it.
jacket right here.
Oh,
Oh,
look at
wait,
that jacket.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
That
wait,
your
wait,
iPad
wait,
is like,
wait.
no, I want to see
I
your
know.
face.
I'm not-
Like, no, I want to see your face.
yeah.
Nice.
I know during that Kickstarter video, I was looking at your posters in the background, which I'm seeing now as well. And I'm dude, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to get this whole room lined with them. If you can kind of see them, there's like Froltergeist. I do every Friday the 13th. I do a Friday the 13th drop. And then Frozilla in the back. So yeah, I'm just trying to get a little Frominum.
We're gonna take a quick break. Anthony, can you stick around with us while we talk about the news?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back. We got a little bit of news to talk about, but if you stick around, you never know what you're gonna see. So.